out for a quick second, and I'm going to come right back in because mine is that.
And is everybody muted? Yeah, everybody looks muted. Okay.
Joy.
Choose any two McDonald's classics for $5, like the 100% beef Big Mac, fillet of fish made with sustainably cooked fish, or 10-piece chicken McNuggets made with white meat. Enjoy the choice. Find more deals at our app.
Somebody watching McDonald's right now?
Okay, I'm muting everybody. And then I just got to figure out how to unmute you. Since I'm new to all this like fun training stuff. Okay. Okay.
Now. Perfect.
All right. So thank you for bearing with me for a second since I'm new to this fun stuff. But so you need your goal in sight, because without that plan, it's just going to be up in the air. Once I started goal planning, that's when my business really started taking off, because when I just was posting or, randomly reaching out to people, not knowing where I was placing or what to do, I mean, it's not going to grow. So for example, you're going for executive, you have 2 girls under you. Communicate with those girls so you can all reach the goal. So your goal with them is, if they have nobody under them, you say your goal is a $400, and then you set those together. So you say, I'm going to get 200 and you're going to get 200. And when you do it as a team, I find it works much better. The way I built most of my team is with my girls. And so like example, my goal now that I've went diamond is to help my other girls get strong, the ones that I'm still building and helping them build, because, I mean, obviously I want to see them all succeed too. But what is it? Also, and again, you want to set those goals with your team, but also know you're responsible for your business. So don't get mad if you don't rank because you didn't put in all the effort. I mean, it's great when you have the teamwork, but your business is your business. So I write down goals. The rule is like a 6 list is what they did in the Dash to Diamond. So like for the next day, I have a goal. I'm going to schedule a certain amount of posts for my Rat Mamas page. I'm going to reach out to say, even if it's 10 people, set that goal. Do you have anything you want to say to it too? Because I know we were like bouncing off each other like crazy today, but.
No, I know, that's totally fine. I know I jumped off and then came back on, but were you asking, did everyone print their charts out? Did you ask that?
I did, but I was trying to mute.
That's totally fine. So going to the chart thing, I feel like charts are super huge no matter where you are in your business. So if you just started, print out a Ruby. Like, it's not that far away, because you need to know, like, and I know you just talked about this, but you need to know where you're going and where you're placing. Especially when you start having girls on your team underneath you, it's so great to place to promote. You're still going to get paid off your customers, but you don't only need the 4 customers, and then you can help. So that can help your other team members underneath you. So as long as you have that chart, you're going to know where to place. And check their volume also. I guess I can go to volume from knowing your chart. So we were going to talk about just making sure you check your volume. I know I always tell Rachel and Jessica all the time that I'm really bad at this, and one day I'm going to start my like volume Monday or whatever day I want to call it, and I always joke around and tell them that I feel like it's like starting my diet. Like Mondays come around and I'm like, oh, I'll start again next week. But I feel like for every single person, myself included, I'm sure Amanda can take the blame also, you have to keep up with volume because you need to know where your team is at. So don't just expect that your team, because the following month is going to have their full volume the next month. Because customers will cancel auto ships, you'll have declines, you'll have everything. So I think that some people kind of have like the idea that once you get a customer, like your customer is going to be there for life. And I hate to break it to some of you guys, but on average, they're going to have it for 3 months and then they're going to cancel and they're going to be gone. So you have to make sure that you're maintaining and keeping up with those. So we might do the happy dance because we got our first 4 customers, But just because you got those first 4 doesn't mean you can sit back and pick your nose. Like, you have to keep going and you have to keep rocking it, because your new DTs are going to need help also. And not only do you need to help yourself, but you need to help your team, because that's going to help you be able to like promote and rank up. So just make sure you're checking your volume weekly, so that way then, or even every other week, whatever works best for you. But that way then when it comes to the end of the month, you're not running around like a chicken with their head cut off trying to know where you're at or how much volume you need or whatever else you need more. So just make sure that you're kind of aware of where your customers are. Declines are huge. Does everybody know that every single, no matter what? So let's pretend if I got a customer on the 30th of the month, so the very end of the month, no matter what, the following month, every single card gets ran by the 25th. So that way you have a couple days to always double check on where your declines are. I don't know if everybody knows how to check for declines. Maybe we can go over that in our e-suite. But just always know that on the 25th, from whatever's from the 25th on to the rest of the month, that's totally up to you to fill. So there will be no more cards running unless you call customer service to run something or one of your customers calls, but that's it. So just a heads up, because I feel like I've had some people think that because they've placed a DT or a customer on the 30th or the 31st that it's still going to process, but that following month, everything gets ran by the 25th.
So when you go into your e-suite, the way you can check your volumes too, especially if you're looking under your girls to view, you go under Tree Viewer if you don't know that already. I highly suggest going around in your e-suite and just playing around with it and checking everything out. That's kind of how I learned. And then I talked to, like, obviously my uplines to figure out where I need to look to place people, and how to look at volume and see numbers. I can try to pull one up for you guys in a little bit. But I also want to suggest, when you're setting goals, to set goals with your team. So, like, example, you have a girl who's trying to go executive, but you're not like in the mindset to promote. Help her promote when you can. I'm not saying, we're going to help build everybody's business. But again, the team aspect really is great. It really makes everything a lot more connected. So that's what we're trying to get you guys interacting, hopefully, later on. And also set goals outside of your business too. When I started self-development and really believing that I could actually do this opportunity, that's when, it was like a light bulb. Because a lot of time people are going to quit on you. If they're going to quit on you, are you going to quit, or are you going to have that mindset like, no, I'm not quitting, I can do this? So a goal to, I know Amanda's talked about it with personal development, set a goal aside where you focus on you at least 20 minutes a day. Just do something for you. And then we were also going to mention, when you reach a goal, so if you hit executive, and that's a big deal to you, treat yourself to a Starbucks nasty drink. I don't know. Just treat yourself to something that you don't normally have, to kind of reward yourself. If you can't reward yourself and it's to pay off bills, pay off a bill and, post it on Facebook. Like, that's how I started. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the money that I had, I needed it to go towards bills when I first started. And so I posted about how I paid off a water bill. And that in itself was rewarding. Like, it made me feel good about what I was doing, even if I wasn't sure about the business quite yet. I guess, I don't know if everybody probably knows, but I've been with the company for a year, and I went in not knowing that I can do this. So that's why I kind of want to push a lot of the newbies to start focusing on you right away too, and realize that this opportunity is for anybody and everybody. Megan and I were talking earlier today about how, like, we're not the type of person who's a salesperson, but here we are in this business doing this. So,
yeah. And going back to those reward stuff, like, I feel like those are huge. And I know Jennifer said your reward can be anything. Like, oh, today I just got a new customer, so I am going to eat a bowl of cereal. Sometimes I do that just so I can justify eating a bowl of cereal. But I feel like rewards, though, are huge in this business, because no matter what, and I tell girls this all the time, like, you're going to have a down day and you're going to have a great day. And so sometimes in this business, it's such an emotional roller coaster. You have amazing days, and then you have days where you're like, why am I doing this? But then the next day it's a lot better, and then you're good to go. So I feel like rewards are just going to help you out, especially on those crappy days that you might just feel like things aren't going your way, you know, whatever, and reward yourself because you guys are still here and you guys are still rocking your business. And so setting yourself goals and your team goals and all of that stuff is awesome, but making sure that you reward yourself so you can keep tracking along is the way to do it. So perfect.
Okay. Were you going to mention auto ships and BV, the 150 BV?
Yeah, so let's go over really quick, and I should have done this when I was talking about checking your volume, but we're going to talk really quickly and just talking about your commission, making sure everyone on your team is commission qualified. So the only reason why I want to touch this is because personally I had this like with my team, and so I feel like sometimes because it hits home a lot harder when you finally realize that, or when you are stuck in that situation, it makes you more self-aware. So I just want to make sure that no one has to go through what my team did this past crazy end of the month. So in order, if you guys are going for goals and you guys are boxing yourself out and you're using your boxes, you have to make sure that every single person that you're using is commission qualified. So that person has to either have their 80 BV of auto ship ran, or they need to have 150 of their personal volume. So they kept customers that their volume totals up to 150. If they don't have that, you're not getting paid. So I know that we've talked about also like the callbacks where if people return a product. So if you're going for just only using your personal volume of 150, those customers for the next 15 days, so it ends on the 30th or 31st of the month, for the next 15 days, they have that time to return their product. And if they return that product and you were counting on that, so let's say my BV was like 154. So I'm like, perfect, I'm great. I don't have to run my auto ship. And one of my customers returns a box of wraps, which is 54 BV, I'm screwed. And I don't get paid. And you don't know it. They won't tell you because not they're going to give you an email and say, hey, just a heads up, do you want to buy a box of wraps? Like that would be nice if they told you, but they don't. So that's why we always suggest for people to always run their auto ship, because you're only going to worry about yourself. Like you don't have to worry about all your customers. But going to commission qualified, you need to double check on everyone on your team. So making sure that if they're running their auto ship, that that's being ran and that it hasn't been declined or that nothing was processed. So sometimes things will look like it went through and it didn't, and that's what happened too on our end this month. So just a heads up, making sure that you guys can go to your customer or to your distributors and you can look at what order, like if they're running their BV and if it went through, and it will tell you to the left of like where it ran on the bottom of the page. So it should say like printed or shipped if it went through. It'll say declined if it's not. But I would start checking that on like the 20th and making sure that everything has been ran, because that gives you 5 extra days, because like I said earlier, because all the cards that are ran on the 25th, that also includes all distributors' auto ships. So everything has to be ran by the 25th. So just a heads up for everyone, making sure that every single person that you're using on your box is commission qualified so you guys can get your paycheck, because I would hate for you guys to not get your paycheck just because of one person that something didn't go through. So that's just a heads up for everybody.
Do we have a lot of newbies on here, I wonder? I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I know I've gone over with how to, I know a lot of the girls already know where to go and how to check out volumes. I'm going to unmute everybody real quick. I'm going to ask if anybody needs me to go over eSuite, just because if anybody's here and they need that now, I would like to help you with that. So that's loud enough. Right, so okay.
Their hand.
Okay, so yeah, actually, if you have a question, just type in the everyone little like column where you can do, what is it? A message. If you have a question, I'll unmute you. So
yeah. And then we can keep going forward, and if not, we can touch it. But yeah, just to make sure that everyone knows how to check those, because like I said, we were in that same situation. It was a crappy situation, and we learned from it, and we're moving forward, and we're rocking it even harder. But I don't want anybody to go through what we did, because that was crazy.
No,
crazy.
Especially if you're going for like a rank or a goal or something, like say you're going for diamond and it's that bonus month, and you're like all set, and then something happens where, even a 23 BV order can be replaced, but if you're not paying attention to all the numbers needed, then that's not going to happen. Like think about 23 BV.
Right.
And like, so a way to plan out, say, okay, if you want to go executive, plan out say 8 systems, promote that so you can sell 8 systems to fill that volume, or, something like with like 92 BB, or, 2 boxes of wraps to fill in those volumes. That's how I rank. I promote certain products to fill my volume where I need it. So like if I have a girl who needs, 36 BV, I'm going to be like, I need to sell a cleanse. That's why, you need to pay attention everywhere and anywhere. Again, because I filled boxes where people aren't working. So if you want this business, you need to know what you need to fill and where you're going. I have my girls on my board. Like I always keep them up there every month now.
Right. Yeah. So then with that being said, let's jump into scheduling, because I feel like Jennifer and I were talking about schedules. I feel like we talk about schedules a lot, but I feel like sometimes some of us have a hard time trying to understand how to come up with your schedule on what's going to work best for you. So we can only sit back and tell you guys like, oh, this is what we do. Like me, for myself, when I do work on my business, it's during nap time when like my baby is sleeping, because I cannot get anything done with a 17-month-old running around the house, and that's just how it is. So for me, sending out messages, following up on messages, working on charts for my team, anything like that, that's when I do it, is during nap time. But you guys have to figure out what works best for you. So let's say if you don't work until the evening and the mornings work great for you, then perfect. But you need to find what works best for you, and you need to make sure that you set aside 20 minutes, an hour, whatever you feel is best for your business. Everyone thinks it's a little bit differently, but you need to set that to your side like every single day, because if you don't, consistency is key with this business. And I feel like we can say that so much, but it totally is true. So if you're only going to do 20 minutes one day and then 5 minutes the next day, and then 5 minutes again, and then 20 minutes, and you're kind of doing a little roller coaster, you're going to see a little bit of a crazy side effect for your business, and it might go down a little bit. So just making sure that you have that set. Jennifer even talks about sometimes even like setting an alarm, let's say for like posting. My post, I need to get, Jennifer is on it, and she's super smart, and so maybe she can even talk about how she's been doing, didn't you say like an Excel sheet or something like that?
Okay, so I've even grown over the last, year, but so with my Rat Mamas page, I actually schedule my posts, and on Sunday, I go and find posts that I'm going to post for the week. With my personal page right now, I set an alarm. I don't always need a reminder, but I put it there just in case, because things come up. Like I have kids at home, they're getting ready to I have 10 minutes left, so they're getting ready to come home full time for the summer, and that's when I built my business last year. So if you have kids at home, if you're working full time, again, find what works for you. If you need to wake up 20 minutes early in the morning to schedule posts on like Buffer or Hootsuite, then do that. Take the time to do that, because this business really is worth the time and the effort. It's worth the sacrifice. And one day you could quit your job if you want. Like that's the reality of this opportunity that is here. Again, that's why I say like focus on your mindset and believe that you can do this. So put aside the time and say, even it's for you, even if you have to be like, what, I'm putting this time away for me. I'm gonna focus on my business 20 minutes a day. It takes 10 minutes to schedule posts, 6 posts a day, and then it could take, message 10 people even a day. Even if that's all you can start with, set a small goal, and then maybe in a month up it to say 20 people, and then the next month, more. So set real goals for you that are tangible for you in that moment, okay? Because, we want to see you all succeed. So don't set unrealistic goals where you're going to just fail at it and then, like, be down on yourself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, totally. And then even with the scheduling, like what I do, what I've realized, and I know Amanda, this is totally old school, and I have Hootsuite, but I've never tried it. But Amanda has said a while ago, and I've still done it to this day just because I know it gets crazy, but I will do my posts on Instagram, but turn my phone on airplane mode so it won't go through. So it's saved there. That way then when I undo it and if I pull up my Instagram, it's right there, and all I have to do is just push send and go through, and it's done. So it's the easiest thing for me. So that's what I try to do in the mornings and have them all planned out for the rest of the day and then do that. So that works out good. And then you said you only have 10 minutes left. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
For a timer?
It gives me like 45 minutes. I thought it would be an hour or something. Yeah.
That's so crazy. All right, so let's talk about goals though, because I feel like, we wrote a couple things down, but I feel like from you coming back and saying that to have realistic goals, and I feel like everyone needs to have goals in this business, whether it's a daily goal, a weekly goal, your monthly goal, anything like that. Like you need to have something to push towards too. So I know I asked Jessica, I know Rachel jumped off because she had to, but I know we were just kind of getting some ideas, because not only it's great to have goals, but it's even better to actually follow through with them and then how to get to those goals. So like me personally, this week I try to think about what I wanted to do for like a goal for myself just for the week. And I need to work on my potential distributor list. So you can never have enough potentials because let's face it, like out of 100 potentials, like maybe 2 will sign up. I mean, who knows? So you could have a great month, whatever. So my goal is to work on my distributor list and then just to keep networking and get my friend list up. I mean, those are easy goals. And that way then if I hit them, which I will be great. And then if I, it's easy, realistic goals. So those are mine for the week. Jennifer, do you have goals for this week?
My goals are to help my team right now. But again, like I have a certain amount of distributors I need to get this month. And I'll set that goal every month and say, if I don't achieve that goal this month, then I'll just keep that goal for next month.
Right.
So for example, I'm going to be completely honest. There was a month I didn't get anything, nobody. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get somebody this month. And then I went over my goal. So it's going to balance out as long as you're consistent and you stay focused on what you want out of this business. Like my goal was diamond only, and now I have other goals in sight. But I mean, if it takes me time, that's okay. I'm just going to keep that in sight. And just be, I guess, focused on it, I did get a list together of like this article I read, and it's like 6 or something steps to do to setting your goals. I will post it on the page since we don't have a lot of time. But that way it helps you organize how you can really achieve your goals, because you got to put them into action. You can't just say them out loud. You got to figure out and break them down how you're going to achieve them. So I will post that and the article that came with it too. It was really a great read. So
perfect. Jessica, do you have your goal? I know I asked you. Do you have something?
I muted her.
Is there time?
Yes, I think so. It hasn't yelled at me again.
Okay. My goals for this week are to unfollow people on Instagram that aren't following me back because my numbers aren't matching. I'm following more people than followers, so I need to get that number down. I want to start doing personal development in the morning when I wake up, because I did that today and it got me in the best mood ever. And so I'm reading that book, You Are a Badass. And so I just did 20 minutes of that outside reading, drinking coffee. And it got me in such a good mood. My roommate was a little annoyed with me on the car ride to work because I was so chipper and chatterboxy. And then I want to just stay consistent with my posting, because I know on the weekend I do maybe like 3 posts in a day, and I want to be more consistent on it, especially on busy weekends like this one.
Great.
So that's what I want to do. Oh, and a 6 list.
Awesome. I love the goal about the self-development in the morning, because I feel like the days that I do my self-development, I just pumps me up for the day and it gets me motivated for everything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I love that. Or just when I'm doing my makeup, because I like doing my makeup and taking my time. So I just like listening to like a Facebook video from like a leader that I like, or a YouTube video, and I just kind of listen to it, and that's it.
See, multitasking, you can do all this kind of stuff anywhere, anytime.
I love that, especially too, because you're right. If you do that in the morning, I feel like it totally sets your mood and your tone for the rest of the day, and that shows like in all your posts. And I know I've said it before, and everyone has said it before, but like positivity is going to affect like your whole entire business. So people are going to flock to that. So like your energy, if you're having a crappy day, you're going to get crappy people. Just kidding, not really, but you know what I mean though. Like if you're having a day we all have those days, so I totally get it, but just don't let it show, kind of brush it off and keep it going, because those people, and I've said it before, I know, and I keep saying this, I feel like I repeat myself so much, but if people are looking into this business and they have a couple distributors coming at them at different teams or whatever, people are going to go to that person that's more positive. Or like people that are wannabe customers. If I have other people that are trying to talk to people, you know, if I have some people that are interested and they're like, oh, my neighbor sells it too. Well, you know what? Great. Your neighbor could be cool, but I'm a lot better. I'm just kidding. But you want to stay positive because those people are going to come and they're going to come to your business a lot more when you're more positive and have that super, super pumped up energy.
And you can put that into consistency too, because if somebody wants to be a distributor and they see you flake off for a month or, you know, a week, they're going to be like, oh, maybe I won't join her, but I'm going to join this girl who's being consistent, who's really into this business. They're going to be like, you know what? She loves this. I want to feel what she's feeling with the positivity, you know? They're going to connect to that and want that.
Yeah. Do we still have time?
It's not kicking me off. I don't know. We can go until it gives us the boo, I guess. Oh, yeah, 1 minute. 2 minutes, it says.
1 minute?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, man. Yeah. So what do you want to end with?
Okay, so we wanted to actually challenge everybody today. We have that opportunity meeting going on. So we want you to set that goal to get one person, one potential on that meeting. Only one. And when we're doing those, we're going to, you know, want to know that they actually came to the meeting because we know how people flake out on us. So the more people you reach out to, the better. And then we will enter whoever had somebody come to those meetings into a drawing to win a prize. We don't know what the prize is yet, but there will be a goodie. So
you're going to win my pink drink. Just kidding.
Win a gift card to Starbucks.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So please try to get somebody on those opportunity meetings. There's 2 different meetings, and they're both on the team page, and we'll be posting more pictures about that, I guess. Do selfies. Say, come to the opportunity meeting. Join my team. Whatever. All right.
That sounds good. Well, perfect. You guys lucked out because I was going to play like the drawing game and pick one of your pretty faces and make you guys tell us your goals like on the spot, but we're going to run out of time.
I will upgrade. I'll have to upgrade.
Jen will upgrade for next week. Well, thank you, girls. And Rod, right there. I know. Sorry, I saw you. I was like, hey, wait a minute. And then if anyone has any questions, you guys can totally just message Jen or I, and we can help you guys out since I know we don't have tons of time left. Normally we like to kind of play a question and answer game. So feel free to message us, and we can help you out with whatever. And then enjoy the rest of your week and set those goals. And let us know what your goals are. Maybe we'll post something, Jen, so we can have people tell us what their weeks are so we can keep everyone accountable.
I think that would be great. Thank you, ladies, so much. Oop.